Okay, so we're back with our luxury SUV shootout. We've already gotten rid of the BMW X5 xDrive 35D and the Mercedes-Benz ML320 BlueTech. What we're left with is the Volkswagen Touareg TDI and the Lexus RX 450h. Join us as we figure out which one of these two is the winner. All right, we're now in the 2010 Lexus RX 450h. Now, this is one of their best-selling hybrid vehicles. It's a very popular SUV, and it's been completely redesigned for 2010. It features a 3.5-liter V6 that makes 295 combined horsepower when paired with 3 electric motor generators. There is one that's used to start up the car and run some auxiliary features, and then there's another motor generator that runs the front wheels and one that runs the rear wheels. Along with that, there is a continuously variable transmission, a CVT, so there's no gear shifting in this vehicle, it's just smooth power delivery. Let's start with the negatives first. A lot of people don't actually like the styling of this vehicle. Our jurists really didn't like the way it looks. It's got some weird angles. Inside, some of the guys liked that it's very modern and very clean, but some also said it was just kind of a mishmash. There's some wood here, there's some metal facing, and then some black plastic. But you really can't help but be impressed by how much technology Lexus has really jammed into this vehicle. Again, beyond the hybrid system, there's all sorts of really interesting new features, including the remote touch system, which is a brand new way to navigate audio, HVAC, and navigation screens. It's this touch sensitive, sort of like a trackball, fixed trackball deal, and it falls right under your hand. It's really interesting to use. It features this feedback where the cursor actually, you can feel it click into place when it hits a button. Very interesting stuff. There's an organic LED screen here in the instrument panel. This thing has, backup cameras, LED taillights and headlights. And that's really it. The Lexus is one of these cars that has a high feature content, very high value, but it really isn't for everybody. This car got some things on the road for being maybe a little too car-like, not something you'd want to take for any kind of serious off-roading. It doesn't tow a lot of weight. It can only tow about 3,500 pounds. And it is a little compromised in the back, because of the hybrid system. There's not a lot of cargo space, and in general, it just feels a little tighter, a little more compact than some of the competition. With an average of 23.0 miles per gallon, it was no surprise that the Lexus RX 450h beat all in real-world fuel economy. But a fancy hybrid system, loads of high-tech features, and a low cost of entry weren't enough to give the Lexus the overall win. Compromises in cabin space and overall utility keep the RX 450h just out of the top spot. Okay, so we're now in the 2009 Volkswagen Touareg TDI. This is the second generation Touareg, this time with a turbo diesel engine. It is a 90-degree V6 turbo diesel that powers this car, makes 221 horsepower and 407 pound-feet of torque. It's got a standard 6-speed transmission, and this one is actually fully loaded with a lot of off-road options. We have an auto differential, high, low mode. We have everything but the air suspensions on this vehicle. It has a typical steel spring suspension. It is a nice driving vehicle. A couple criticisms from our editors. It's kind of light, the steering. It tends to sway and roll over in corners. That's partially due to the weight. It is the heaviest by far of the premium SUVs that we have collected. But the good thing is that when it does roll, when you come through a corner, it seems to roll over, and then once it gets in a set, it actually tracks in corners quite nicely. The editors really did like a lot of the other features in this vehicle, particularly the interior. This car really has a very classy, well laid out dash. Everything is in a logical place, looks very nice. It's a very nice mixture of brushed aluminum, wood, and kind of a black leather grained plastic along the dash. Outside, it's also considered one of the most handsome vehicles, if not the most handsome of our pairing. And off-road, it's very capable. Again, it's one of the few here that has this auto differential feature and the high and low modes. And we never got stuck with it, unlike a couple of the others. It's really good off-road. Though it finished last in our real-world fuel economy test with an average of 20.5 miles per gallon, the Touareg TDI was only 2.5 miles per gallon shy of the economy-leading Lexus. So in the end, we had to choose the Volkswagen Touareg TDI as our winner. Yes, you'll pay a little bit more at the dealership and again at the pump because it is a diesel, but we feel the Volkswagen offers more of a well-rounded SUV experience. Sure, the Lexus offers an advanced hybrid drivetrain as well as a whole host of high-technology features, but we feel the Volkswagen does offer a few of those, as well as true off-road ability, a much greater towing capacity, more than twice as much, and an interior and exterior that simply can't be beat. That's why it's our winner in this luxury SUV comparison test.